Alrighty, guys. So again, we are here for print marketing today. My name is Kate with Scott RI Marketing, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a flyer in Command, as well as taking a look at the listing presentation. I will keep everyone muted throughout the class. It just allows us to get through all of the content. If you have any questions at all as we're going through this, though, please drop those in the chat. I will keep an eye on that. And then we will have time at the very end for questions, or if there's a specific type of print marketing you'd like to take a look at, we usually have some time for that as well. So let's go ahead and jump into Command. So as you can see, I am already logged into Command, but if you're not familiar with how to get to Command, it's going to be agent.kw.com. And we'll drop that in the chat as well. Once you're there, you're going to log in using your username and password. Your username will be case sensitive, your password will not be case sensitive, and your password will be. So you do want to make sure you're using capitals, exclamations, all that good stuff. And make sure there's no spaces before or after your password, because that can cause it to give you a logout error as well, or invalid password. But once we are logged in, don't worry if your dashboard looks a little bit different than mine. They are semi-customizable here on this homepage. So they do look a little bit different from command to command. But the first thing we want to do, since we're taking a look at print marketing today, is we want to head down to designs. So if you're not sure how to find designs over here, you can hover over these applets. Or if you want to hit this red and white KW, you can expand that and it will give you the names of each of those. Again, we're taking a look at designs. It kind of looks like a paintbrush with a pad behind it, or a canvas. Then once we're in the designs dashboard, yours may look a little bit different here as well. And the reason for that being is that these are designs that I have created and used. And if you haven't created anything in Command Designs yet, yours might be blank. So that is perfectly okay. The first thing we want to do though here is we want to head to import design. And the reason for that being is that we're going to take a look at updating our assets before we jump into the designs. So once we hit import, you'll notice that we have templates, images, and this is new. So you may get a pop-up from time to time when they add new stuff. We'll close out of that for now. But anyways, we have templates. That's where you can find the various different kinds of templates you can create. You have images, which are going to be where you can find some various different stock images. You have my projects, which is where it brought us into. These again are my designs that I've created in my command. So they're showing up here. And then you have assets. So that's the one that we want to take a look at now. Now, the first category over here on the left is the Keller Williams Realty. So these are going to be Keller Williams provided assets. So the assets are different pieces of marketing that you can pull into your designs easily. They range from colors and fonts to images, things like that. So we're going to go through each of these. Again, these just make creating your designs a little bit quicker, faster, and easier for you. So Keller Williams has their own color palette that they have added, which allows you to easily pull in the KW colors into any designs that you're creating. They also have some fonts that they've selected that allow you to use those. These are just their preferred fonts. You also have images. Now, images is where you can find other stock images. So as you can see, they have these down here, but they also have some different folders that you can take a look at. So they have holiday images if you're trying to create a design for that. House interiors if you're looking for something for that. Lifestyle, if you want to do like a design for your app, if you're trying to promote people using your app, they have some designs for that as well. And neighborhoods, lifestyles, etc. But again, these are their stock images that they allow you to use. Next is the text. So this is just going to be their ownership statement that each office is independently owned and operated. Then we have logos. Now, logos is going to be the generic Keller Williams logos. So you can see that they have some folders. This one's for Keller Williams University. Events, I believe this was just Red Day. They have some luxury logos. Miscellaneous, which is going to be your equal housing opportunity and your NAR logo. Labs, then you can find your generic Keller Williams logos. And then this one is new. It didn't have anything last time either, so hopefully there'll be something coming soon to that. Next is elements. So elements are going to be similar to icons or symbols that you're using frequently on different pieces of designs. So for the example, if you're entering your email a lot or your website, location, phone numbers, things like that, these will allow you to put in a little symbol to where you can put that information right next to it. They don't have any videos, but those can be added. And then for their files, they just have the style guide and addendum. So those are the KWRI provided assets. Then you have my assets. So this is where you can customize your preferred colors, font, things like that. A lot of people like to be consistent with their marketing. So if you are one of those people, you can set your own color scheme if you're using the same colors frequently. Or if you have a team or you've branded yourself, those would be good reasons that you want to set up a color palette. As you can see, I have a whole bunch. I make them all the time. I'm going to go ahead and delete a couple because it's getting a little busy. That's the main palette, but you can rename them. And if you want to add a palette, all you do is hit add. It will pull up a little palette here, and then you can rename that. So I'm just going to do today's class. So we'll do 7/18/2024. And then we can go ahead and select our colors. So whatever we want our colors to be, we can kind of pick those. You can use your little dragger, and you can also use your dropper. You just move those around until you find the colors that you are going to be using. You do not have to fill up all of those. So if you don't want to have 6 colors, you don't have to. You can stop at 3 or however many you'd like. But these allow you to pull those colors in easily to whatever design you're creating. You can also add your own custom fonts. If you like specific kinds of fonts, you can add those. You can upload one, or if you want to just search for one, you can come in here and you can find one that you like and just check that little tab next to it. We'll just do this one. And it will go ahead and add that so that that text can be used when I'm creating something. The next one is images. Now, this is a great place for you to add images that you're using on a regular basis. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. For example, your headshot. If you're using your headshot and putting that on marketing often, adding that to your assets is way faster than trying to add it each time you need to use it. Same if you're trying to use QR codes. Let's say that you're putting QR codes on flyers or business cards or whatever else. You can add those to your assets. These are for the app and the website. If you've recently done onboarding with us, you should have those, but if you don't and you'd like them, you can email us at our support email, and we're happy to create those for you. To add an image, all you do is hit upload, and then it will allow you to select your device and how and where you want to upload that from and upload it here. You can also create folders if you're looking to put those in the specific folders. And as you can see here, you can also remove backgrounds. So I've already removed one from this one here, but if I go ahead and delete that and click on the 3 little dots here, I have a few options. So use, view, download, rename, or remove background. You'll notice it's doing its job down here, and then it puts that photo in here with no background. So that I can easily use that on different types of marketing. Next is text. This is another good one that makes it easy for you to pull in things that you're using often. For example, if you're putting your app, your branded app link onto different marketing pieces or your website, and you don't have to type those out every single time, you can add those in here to where you can easily pull those into your design without typing them. So for example, I've got, my app, my phone number, the bio, office, email, website, all of that good stuff. You can add whatever you want here. You can also create folders again, and then add new right there. Next is logos. So as you can see, I have a ton of logos. I usually add a new one every time because I do like to show you guys how to find your Market Center specific logo in case you're not sure. So to find your Market Center specific logo, you'll go to kwconnect.com. Now, kwconnect.com is not to be confused with the Connect that's within Command. They are two separate platforms currently. I'm not sure if they're going to merge those eventually or not. But once you're on KW Connect, you will head to Resources. And from there, you're going to go down to Marketing. Now, once we're in Marketing, you'll notice that the first option here is the Logos and Branding. So if we click on that, it's going to open a new window. From there, you'll see they have the style guide in here. And if you keep going down, you'll notice that there is a little search bar right here. This will allow you to search for whatever Market Center you're with. So you can search by either Market Center number or name. So I'm just going to throw out some random numbers today. And we're going to do this one. So it will show the Market Center number, name, and then it will allow you to preview that logo to make sure that's the correct one you're looking for. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and download. And as you can see, it's downloading right here. Once it's all done, it's going to open up. It's just opening in my other window. So give me 1 second. Whoops. Now that I have that folder downloaded, you'll notice I have a few different folder options within that folder. So I like to take a look at the black and white and the CMYK folder. We click on that one and I change the view for you guys. You'll notice that there's going to be a few different formats and color options for the logo. So here we have the white and black versions. This one here has a white background behind the logo, whereas these do not. So depending what background you're using in your marketing, you may want the white square or you may not. But these are going to give you all of those different formats. Now if we go back and we go into the CMYK, you'll notice the same thing. And actually this Market Center only has the one, but most Market Centers will also have the transparent and they'll have a few different color options like we were looking at here. So you'll see that if we go to this one here, it's going to have a few different color options as well. And these do not have a background. Now, not every Market Center has the exact same options for logos, so just keep that in mind. You may not have all of these options when you're downloading your folder. But from there, once we have the logos downloaded for the office we're doing, I had Lone Star today, so let's add a new folder, and we will call it Lone Star. And we're going to go into that folder and go ahead and upload those images. So from there, we're going to go to downloads and we are going to select all of those available options. I'm going to do add more. And then I'm going to go back and grab the color option as well. Again, only one for this specific office. But then we'll go ahead and upload those to our folder. Now, when I'm creating a graphic for this office, I can easily pull in the logos from the office. Moving along though, we have elements. This is the same as the KW. If you had an icon, symbol, logo, whatever that you'd like to add here, you can add that. And one thing I skipped over for logos is if you have a branded logo for your team, or if you've identified yourself as a solo agent and branded yourself, you can certainly add those here as well. Videos, if you have any videos that you'd like to add, keep in mind those need to be public videos, so on YouTube or platforms similar. You also have files. If you'd like to add some sort of PDF that you're using often, you can get those added as well. I don't see any questions coming in, so we'll go ahead and keep going. So to go back, we're going to actually start creating a design now. So I'm going to go back to Command and back to Designs. Now you can create the design from within the import because it's going to take us in there anyway. But I'm also going to show you how you can create it right here. So we're doing print marketing today. So that is the one we want to select. If you're interested in any of the other types of designs, we do have classes on those that you can join. But we're going to go ahead and hit next. Now, as you can see in a second, this is what I'm talking about when I said you could do it from the import as well, because it gives us the option to go between those. So doing it this way just brings you into templates. So now that we are within the templates, you'll notice we have some categories on the left-hand side. And within each of those categories, we have some subcategories. So for example, if you're looking at the buyer, you have buyer presentation, which you can create. You have neighborhood snaps that you can create. Now, the buyer presentation is going to be very similar to the listing presentation we're going to take a look at. So just keep that in mind. You also have some other options, though, if you're looking for lead generation, if you're trying to make holiday posts or anything like that. So take a look at all of these, browse through the different templates, but we're going to go ahead and go to listings. And we have a few options again. We have coming soon, for sale, just listed. The listing presentation is here, open house, all of that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at open house for today. Now, once I'm in open house, you'll notice up here on the top that it's going to give me some different options. So if I'm creating a piece of print marketing, I'm probably not going to want to look at a social template. So there's a few different ones. I'm also probably not going to want to look at a door hanger. So I probably want to look at the flyer, or if I want to do a bifold, trifold, I can look at one of those. But for today's class, we are going to take a look at the flyers, which is an 8.5 by 11 inch. And when I click on that, it filters out all of the other options. So I can't accidentally click on a different one. But once I'm in here, I get to look at the templates that are available and decide which one I like best. So this is just personal preference, and these can be customized as much or as little as you want. I'm going to take a look at this one right here, and we're going to go ahead and hit use. Now, once we've done that, we're brought into the WeBrand editor where we can start customizing our flyer. So a few things to notice. We have templates over here. We have images. Now within the images, we have stock photos, workspace, and assets. So this is where those assets we were previously taking a look at kind of come into play. So stock is going to be the stock photos you can take a look at. Workspace is going to be the KWRI provided ones that we were looking at in the assets section. And then of course I have my assets. So they're going to be here as well. Same for text. It's going to have add new. It's going to have banners, which is some funner options. It's also going to have workspace, which again is your KWRI provided assets, and then my assets. So I can easily pull those in. And most of these are all going to be the same. So I won't go through all of them, but they're all going to have those 3 options or more for you to create your design. You also have the KWLS. This is a great way for you to pull in your images directly from the MLS, which we are going to take a look at. So let's go ahead and do that. So from KWLS, you're going to search for KW listing. You can filter by how you're searching. So we generally do recommend using the MLS number if you have one, because this is pulling from every MLS to get the most accurate and quickest way to your listing. Using the MLS number is the fastest. So I have an MLS. Hopefully it's still a good one. We'll take a look. If not, I've got a backup. All right, so we've got one here. So now that I have the listing pulled up, I can go ahead and hit select. From there, you're going to notice that it's going to, in a second, populate all of the photos from the listing. I also have the ability to view all of the listing details so that I can start plugging these into my design quick and easy. So let's go ahead and start plugging in some of these photos. So if I click on this main photo and I want to replace it, the easiest way to replace that photo is to click this double arrow. So the double arrow is going to replace that photo exactly as it is on the flyer. So we'll go ahead and click that. As you can see, it put it into that perfect little box. Now, if I don't like how it's sitting or arranged, I can certainly double click on that and adjust it. So I can zoom in, Once I have it how I want it, I can go ahead and hit done, and it will crop it to that exact way that I had it. Now let's go ahead and swap these other two while we're here. So let's grab some inside photos. Let's go ahead and do this one. We'll do the same thing. We're just swapping it out. And we'll just do this kitchen one too. All right, so we've easily swapped out our photos over here. Now we can start plugging in the other items. So if we want to do the listing details first and get everything done with the listing, we can go ahead and do that. So if we click on the text here, and as you can see, those are two different boxes. One is the box behind it, and one is the actual text. And what I want to point out is when I'm clicked on the box, it doesn't have a replace arrow. But when I click on the text, I now have the plus and the replace. So if I want to swap the address, I can go ahead and do that. Now I put it on the two lines. So if I want to fix that, I can always drag that box over. I can also edit that. It's a little bit long. It's got, maybe we just take out the drive. See if we can get it all onto one line. Fit in that gray. There we go. That's a little better. I was just trying to get it to fit into that gray box. We can then start plugging in the listing price. Same thing, if it pulls it over, you can either adjust that, and you can double click to adjust text, or use that typewriter option up here to adjust the text. Now this piece of text here is a little bit different. And the reason I say it's a little bit different is because it has multiple pieces of information in that one text field. So if I were to come down to the bedrooms and the bathrooms and switch that out, it's going to literally just put the 6. So in this example, you may want to just manually edit that. So if we do 6 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms, and then where's our square? We'll just do it. So we have 5,000. Once we are done there, we can go ahead and save changes. And again, it's going to edit all of that for us right there. If you want to pull in the listing description, that should be on here too, usually. Or you can edit that yourself. It is a little long, so again, we may need to trim that down. But you can also adjust the text box to see if it will fit. Obviously, this is just way too much. So what I'm going to do is just cut some of this off for now. Obviously, I'm not reading through this, but when you're editing these for yourself, make sure it makes sense, and that you're putting on here what you want it to say. Come see for yourself, and then we can adjust the date and time. So let's see, this weekend is the 21st. So we will put July 1, and we'll just leave it 11 to 2. But now we've got all of this information mostly updated. So the next thing we want to do is switch out our logo. So again, once in here, I can go into my assets and find my specific logo. And I can go ahead and do replace as well. Now, if you don't want to replace an image and you want to add a new image, you can certainly do that as well. If you just click on the image or click plus, it's going to add that on there. So then you can obviously rearrange that and add that how you want. But I'm going to delete that. You can also zoom in if this is hard to read and you want to zoom in, you can do that over here and then scroll up and down. It does have the disclaimer already on there. So the last thing we want to go ahead and edit is our agent information. So we'll do that by going to images, finding Scott's photo here, and we're going to replace. Same thing, I can always adjust these, how that looks within the box if I want to when I replace. Just make sure you hit done. And Scott is on there. And we can put Scott, Roy, And we can go ahead and start editing this information as well. Now, again, this is multiple pieces of information within one box. So using the assets is going to replace all of it with one item. So you kind of just got to choose how you want to do that here. I'm gonna go ahead and, whoops, pull my typewriter up. A little bit easier to edit this way. Scott Leroy, marketing. Support. And we'll leave the number for now. Once I'm done, I hit save changes. As you can see, it's pushing it into 2 lines. That's perfectly okay. I can expand this. And we are all done with that. So we have edited the entire flyer, swapped out our photos, pulled in our listing, everything else. If there is anything else you want to adjust, you certainly can. Let's say that you don't like the gray or the red and you want to use one of your own colors, you can come in here and find your palettes. So we did the palette today. I can go ahead and switch that out. Same for this one. Let's go ahead and swap that. We'll just turn all of the red ones that same color. It does make it a little hard to read, but I'm just showing you how to edit it. So just make sure whatever you're changing, you like how it looks at the end. Same for changing the font. If I want to change this color, let's do it the darker one. Let's say I did want this all in one line. I can go ahead and do that as well. However you want to edit this. I do get questions sometimes about these dots. Some people really don't like those. You can certainly delete that or move it. If you want to delete it, you can just hit delete. It will go away. Again, your flyer, you customize it. As long as you're within compliance, you are good to go. So do make sure you understand your compliance and have consulted with your market center for that. But other than that, you get to make these your own. So that's a flyer. Before we download that and I show you all of that, I'm just going to check some of these questions in the chat, okay? Let's see. Yes, Elizabeth, you can rewatch our video on our YouTube channel. I will drop that in the chat again. We do upload this usually within 24 hours. Let's see. How can I change the background? Let's see. So changing the background behind the photo, it would kind of just be whatever the background is of the photo. So for example, let's go up to Scott's. If I'm using this one that we remove the background on and I just pop it on there, I can make the background any color that I want. I can either put it over the photo, or if I want a specific color behind it, I can certainly just add a box behind it. Shapes. Just do a box. And then if I want the box to be this color here, I can certainly just throw Scott's photo on top of that. As you can see, I need to arrange my layer. So Scott needs to be to the front. And then I have Scott on that color there. So however you want to do that, either you can plop it right on the design or you can put a square behind it if you're wanting a specific color. I'm going to go ahead and delete that though. We'll just leave Scott with no background. Hopefully that answered your question. If not, let me know. Lisa, if you're having trouble logging in, go ahead and email our support email. We can take a look at seeing if we can help you reset that. I will drop that email in the chat. Or you can do the forgot password, and if that comes over to you, then you should be good to reset it yourself as well. How can I change the map? We got that one. You don't have to have the existing listing to create a flyer. You can upload your own photos. You don't have to pull in photos from the listing. I hope that answers your question. I just pull it in because it's easier to pull in the listing photos and things like that straight from the KWLS. Okay, perfect. Looks like we've got everything covered. If I missed anything, let me know, please, and we will come back to it. Once I'm done, my flyer is exactly how I want it. We can go ahead and download that. You can also order prints straight from here if you'd like to, or you can just download that and print that within your office or a local printer. There's a couple of options for printing or for print. So PDF standard, which is what it's currently in, or PDF for printing. PDF for printing will show you the bleed lines so that you make sure nothing is cut off. However, I've not really encountered an issue, so I just usually do the PDF standard. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit download. Now, if you also want to use this to post to social media, you can certainly download it as a JPEG or PNG as well. If you're trying to advertise it on there, you can certainly use this as well and don't have to recreate it if you don't want to. Once that is downloaded, though, I have the, guys, I do apologize. They are making some updates to designs. So if you see something download a little bit funky, let us know. We can certainly place a support ticket to see if they can get that fixed. We have been seeing that a little bit. So let's try PDF for print just to see if it makes a difference. Hopefully it works. Oh, see, that one worked, but it didn't put the photo on. So again, if you're encountering these issues, it's not just you. They are making updates to designs recently, so some things are not downloading exactly as they should. So a couple of options here. You could just add the photo on top of this in Canva or something like that. But I'm also just going to take a look if it's also doing that on a JPEG. So give me 1 second. Sometimes it's just trial and error. So when I download it as a JPEG, it's perfect. So what I could do is just convert this to a PDF after I've downloaded it to save myself some time. If you are encountering this though, definitely feel free to email us at our support email. We can jump in, take a look, and also get this converted to a PDF if you're running into that. So let us know. And hopefully KW is working to get that resolved. Now that we are all done with this though, I'm going to go ahead and hit done. And we're going to move into the listing presentation. Angelica, anytime you're wondering about making sure you're following your local laws and things like that, I always recommend checking with your broker in charge or compliance or MCA or someone in your office. We work with so many offices and everybody does things different. So we don't want to get you in trouble by saying you're good to go. So just make sure you check in. Moving to our next one though, we're going to hit create design. And again, we're doing print. We're going to hit next. And once that loads, again, we're staying within the listing category, and we're going to just take a look at this listing presentation here. So as you can see, we have a few different options. So you just kind of decide which one you like the best that you want to customize and use. You'll notice when looking at these, if you hover over it, it has a 9+. Whereas if you're looking at a flyer here, it does not have that. That's just telling you that this has multiple pages. It's also going to start going through those pages so you can kind of take a look at them. So it's got a little mini slideshow. You have 3 little dots down here where you can preview, download, send to command. You can also just go ahead and hit use. So decide which one you like. We're going to go with the black one today. I like to switch it up from time to time. I don't know why, but I never choose this one because the thought of printing a page with full color, I don't love. But anyways, moving along. In order to access the various pages to this, you can see I can't scroll up or down, but I do have this number down here where it says pages. If I click on that, I can view all 29 pages. From there, I can also click 3 little dots if I need to duplicate a page or delete one. If I don't need that page. We won't edit this full booklet, the full 29 pages, because a lot of it is going to be specific to you and how you run your business. So we'll just go through how you edit it and how you add or remove pages, and then some customization. So I always let everyone know, make sure you go through these with a fine-tooth comb. You don't want to print this out and take it to a presentation and it have something that's inaccurate to you or your business, or something that is supposed to have been removed or edited and wasn't. For example, the second page to this presentation is instructions. Now, those instructions are for you and how to edit this presentation. So you definitely don't want to print this out and give this to someone with that page in it. So we will go ahead and delete that, but it does just say, carefully review all written content so that you are aware of which sections require customization, all of that good stuff. Go ahead and delete that. We're just hitting those dots and hitting yes. As you can see, it quickly removed it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that this page is necessary. I think this is more of the cover of the listing presentation. So I'm going to delete this one too. Now you can delete or leave as many pages as you want. Again, your presentation, your business. So you get to kind of really customize this to work for you. But once you're on here, you'll want to swap out photos. Make sure, again, you are following your local laws, things like that, as to what you're using here. But you want to customize all of this text. So this is a custom consultation exclusively prepared for. You'd want to enter your clients' names here. And then you'd, of course, want to edit your information down here. So let's just take a look at doing that. Go ahead and swap out this photo. Again, we want to go under images, my assets, and go ahead and replace that. And then we can go ahead and edit the name. And as you can see, it has these in two different boxes. So if I were to leave it like that, it's going to look a little weird. And if you don't like the two different types of fonts, one being bold and one not, you can certainly just type your full name in one box and delete the other. Completely up to you there. We're going to leave the kw.com. We'll leave the phone number. If you have your app branded link, you will go ahead and pop that in here. If you don't have that or not sure where you can find it, you can come to consumer. And depending if you've already upgraded to the new site, I am on the new agent website, so mine is displayed right here. I can go ahead and hit copy. And then I can go ahead and paste that right here. All right, now everything is updated. That looks good. And we're all set. So next thing is our logo. Same thing, we're just gonna wanna swap that out. They don't have the red and white KW one, so I'm just gonna go with the white one, the all white one. Because I really don't want the white background on the black. I think that's gonna be too much. And then it does have the address down here. So I don't know if I have the address in my assets, but if I did, I could easily swap those. It doesn't look like I do, and that's okay. So I'm going to leave it. But if I did have my address over here, I could go ahead and replace it, and it will plug in the office information. Moving to our next page, though, your property, your guide, you can swap out these photos. Or delete that page if you think it's unnecessary. The next one is the address that you're doing a listing presentation for. So you can, of course, edit all of the information here for the property. Next is the, it's kind of like a neighborhood update. So you can go ahead and edit this information. So let's go ahead and if we want to update the market snap as well, we can do that under KWLS and snapshots. What we can do is search by the neighborhood name or the postal code. And I'm going to go ahead and get the code here. Never remember it. And we will search by, oops. Guess that did not copy. There we go. And then once that loads, just take a second. It's really thinking, guys. Or it's not pulling anything. I'm sometimes not patient enough because I get click happy, and as you can see, it's like timing out for a second. So we'll give it just a minute. There we go. Now that it has a snap, I can go ahead and replace this with that one right there. Now keep in mind, depending on the neighborhood you're polling, it may not have good statistics. And in those cases, these cannot be edited. However, you could edit one through designs under the actual template for that and edit that yourself. Or you could remove this page and add something different. Totally up to you how you want to do that. You could also replace with this one, but if you do that, you may need to adjust it. So if you didn't like this long one, you wanted the smaller one, we can delete both of those and just hit add. Then we can go ahead and adjust that here. Up to you though, how you like it, what looks best to you. I think that looks a little weird, so we're gonna put this one back. Just leave it like that. But then you of course want to edit the neighborhood name and everything here. So make sure that it matches as well. Looks like they have the app link down there. Moving along. We have comparable properties. So if you've already done that, you can add those here. Next one. Your needs come first. And again, read through these, make sure you remove whatever does not fit for you and your business, what is not something that you do, or if you need to add things that you do. Here is a great place you'll want to do that because it's going to go over specifics that you do as an agent through the process. My app, so you'll have information here on your app as well as the link. Your custom marketing plan. So if you have a specific marketing plan in place for your clients, you can put information here about that. Finding your buyer. Best in class promotional assets. So this is going to go over things you can do mostly within Command that helps you. Your media plan. So this is going to go over that information as well. Various things you can do. Now, again, whether you do these or not, you'll want to customize. Strategic promotioning. So coming soon campaign just listed. We keep going. Open house strategy. It's all in the details. So this is where they're going over yard signs, door knocking, photography, videography, all that good stuff. This is some about you, how long you've been in the business, how many clients, repeat clients, all that good stuff. If you are a newer agent and don't have all of that information, you can certainly remove this page for now, or you could just choose not to print that. And I'll show you how to remove certain pages you may not want to print, but you don't want to remove because you may want to add them at some point. This page, though, you definitely want to make sure that you edit all of the agent details on the left-hand side. So again, just going through this with a fine-tooth comb, editing anything that may need to be edited. Our next page here, proof is in my numbers. So this is going to go over how that is. A lot of market centers will allow you to use some of their numbers for some of this. If you are a brand new agent and don't have your own just yet, definitely check in with them. Same for credentials and awards. A lot of these are can be used through KW, things like that. Or if you have your own, leading the industry, portfolio of excellence. So this is, properties you've had and sold. Got more. And featured listings. Again, I will show you guys how you can remove some of these when printing so that you're not removing them from the presentation in case you do want to use those at some point. These are testimonials from clients that you can get added. This is your promise to them. Selling safely. the bottom line, and then we have the end. So this will give your information again. You do want to make sure you get that edited. There is no place for a photo back here, but you could still certainly add your headshot if you wanted to. I do like to point out the frames. You can only see these options when you're not clicked on the design. So as you can see, when I'm clicked on something, those go away. So if I click off of the design itself, these will show up. If I want to do a frame, that basically allows me to put that photo into that perfect little circle, and I don't have to do it myself. So if I did want to add a photo back here, I could go ahead and put that in there. Or if I don't like how that looks, and grab all of this, move it down, and put the photo at the top, however you want. Let me take a look at these questions, and then I can show you guys how to download and print this. So let's see. Yes, you can add a personalized QR code. So I have the branded app and the website code here. So if I wanted to add that back here on the back page, I can certainly add my QR code. They can scan that whenever they want. I can add it wherever I want. I don't know if there's really a good place for it back here, but I could delete the photo. Put it right here. But you can add that anywhere you'd like in your booklet. You can add this on your business card, flyers, anything like that. And again, if you need a QR code creative, we're happy to make those for you. We just need a URL that you want it to be directed to. Let's see, it says, what did you type in? What is the number in the search? I'm not sure what you're referring to. So if you want to let me know more information, I can go back to that. If you're not seeing a snapshot, like I said, you can create your own and then bring it in, or choose a close by neighborhood, however you want to do that. For the neighborhood snap, let's go back up to that one really quickly. That was here. So to get the new snapshot, all I did was go to KWLS. And instead of doing listing, I went to snapshot and put in the zip code. Now you can also search by neighborhood name. However, I just find it's easiest to find the neighborhood I'm looking for by using the zip code. I'm in designs. So we are in the listing presentation design. So that is how we got to this page here. We are physically in the We Brand editor for a design. So it will look similar on no matter what design you're in. Okay, we will keep going, and then we'll have some more time for questions. I know we are getting low on time, so let me show you how to download this, and then we can go into some questions. So now that I'm done, I do like to use the share option. I like to share this with you guys. I don't know about you guys, but anytime somebody hands me something in paper, I'm really good at losing it or misplacing it. So if I come into the share button up here and I do anyone with the link and copy that link, if I want to send this to the client after our listing presentation, I could send them a nice little email with this link, and they can view that entire listing presentation digitally. So it's like a little digital booklet. You may want to rename it before you send it over. So that can be renamed right here. So I can name it the property address or the client's names, whatever I want. But then once it goes over to them, they can go through and view the pages digitally on their computer or whatever they want. But it will allow them to go through all of those pages and take a look at that. So they would still have it even if they lost the paper, which is the reason I like it. They cannot edit anything here, so don't worry if they would have to have command logins to make any edits. But moving back, if we go back to download, same thing as before, we'll do PDF as PDF standard or PDF as print. I'm going to go ahead and do PDF standard. And then this is where you can decide if there are pages you do not want to include right now. You can go ahead and unclick those. So if you don't have portfolios or featured listings that you're a brand new agent, you can take those off. If you don't have reviews or anything like that, you can remove those and still keep them within the presentation. So it will then only download the pages you want. And we may run into the same thing as the last one. As you can see though, it is downloading over here. Some of these bigger templates can take a little longer, so just bear with it for a minute. And now let's take a look and see if it's doing the same thing as our flyer was. Nope, looks good. So they must just have a issue with the other one, the other template. All right, so then it removed the pages I did not want. You're not seeing any of the portfolios or any of that, and everything else is here. So then we can go ahead and print this in Office or send to a local company, however you want to do that. Again, you can also order prints here by clicking Order Print. However, in most cases for a listing presentation, you probably want to get this printed pretty quickly. So you're most likely going to print in-house in your office or at a local facility. But that is our presentation. So we will go ahead and hit done. And I'm going to stop record now and we'll go through a couple questions and finish our class that way.